Hello and welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I have made it through the first half of the school year,
Yay.
and my birthday was on Monday,
Yeah,
and our teacher in service got canceled on that day, which was nice, and we got to go to the Sixers game.
that was a fun time.
Yeah, so the Sixers won, and so that was a good birthday, and thank you to everyone who reached out, and yeah, so I'm doing all right. How about you, Kyle?
It's been a week.
Mm-hmm.
A lot going on with community health right now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, almost a lot of growth, a lot of growth, a lot. Just kind of like going on with the union right now. Just a lot going on with news
Yeah.
and stuff. So, um, we thought about recording earlier this week, but just with everything going on, but we wanted to get an episode out this week because there's going to be more stuff coming out, like with these matches. I'm sure we have more press conferences,
Yeah.
and I would imagine more news as well. So, anyway, we appreciate you tuning in. This will be out on Friday.
Yeah.
So when you're listening to this, happy second Union preseason match day. Um,
Mhm.
so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, this episode we're gonna try to keep it under an hour because you got Grace. No.
Yeah, it's Grey's Anatomy night, Thursday nights. I've been watching it since like the beginning pretty much.
Yeah,
It's
so
like I can't quit it, you know. Anyone else who watches Grey's, let me know. They recycle storylines and whatnot, but I can't quit it. I'm
but as
invested.
always, we appreciate you tuning in, checking out our work. But hey, before we get started, what are you wearing today?
Well, I thought, you know, I'd wear the now not this outdated kit now, the one that they wore the last 2 years as their primary kit, and I am eagerly awaiting what their new kit will be this season, and also what the third kit will be, because as
Yep.
we've heard, they are getting a third kit this year. So yeah, so I'm wearing that kit, this is honestly one of my favorite ones. I thought this was such a good kit when it got leaked, when it first came out. I was like, oh, I really like that. When I saw it like in person, I was like, nice, I really like that. So got that. And Kyle, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing my YMCA professional role model shirt.
Are you a professional role model?
I don't know about that, but I try to be.
You
And
try, yeah.
and trying, well,
Do or do not. There
there
is
is
no
no try.
try.
No, just was wearing that. Like I said, we literally just got home from work, threw this on, and
Well, I was wearing a purple shirt before at for coaching tonight too, so we would have like, yeah, been twinning here, kind of.
so where can people find us at?
You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as our website, theoneteamweagreeon.com. We have our YouTube channel for the One Team We Agree On, and you can find us on our socials. We are at TOTWAG on Instagram and Twitter, and well, we're at the One Team We Agree on Instagram and Facebook as well. And we're also on Blue Sky at TOTWAG. You can find me at silly double underscore Jilly on Twitter and Instagram. And I'm also kind of on TikTok, although not much. And I'm on Blue Sky at Jillian Almany. And you can be found at Coach Almany on all the above. What's that face? I know what you're thinking.
Well, you said TikTok. If you know, you know.
I should put more content on there. I was putting YouTube content on there,
Good,
especially
good.
I'm gonna try to do more with that. So, especially YouTube content. So just some things, that I
Yeah,
put out.
but if you
Um,
know, you know. Anyway,
mhm.
we got a lot of first team, second teams coming.
There's a lot
Uh,
of news, and there's definitely gonna be more to come.
yeah, so we're gonna break this down. Some of this by some of our colleagues has already been covered, but we want to share our thoughts. So let's dive into it, shall we?
Yes.
All right. So first, bit of news: Union signed another defender, center back Jeff Siri Larson.
Yes, and he goes by Jeff, apparently.
Yes,
We had through research learned that beforehand, but
and
yes.
today in press conference he was made available.
Yes.
Um, which if you haven't checked out, it's on their YouTube channel. He did, and then some people did say Jeff.
Hmm.
So and Bradley did as well. So signed through the 2028-2029 season with an option for the 29-30. 25-year-old is joins Union from Braun. Um, he's been at Michelin.
Mhm.
He's been at Bode Glint. Internationally, he's represented Denmark, basically from the U16 all up to the U21
Mhm.
levels. Um, and Bradley just said, Jeff is a proactive, forward-thinking center back that is his valuable experience from his time competing in UEFA Europa League, and his aggressiveness, forward style playing fits our system well. And to that point, he talks about leadership and as also his IQ will be a valuable opposite to the team. You know, one of the things Jeff said today was something that really interested him in the union, and unfortunately I didn't have time to clip it, was that playing style. He
Yeah.
really, really enjoys it. So it was good to see. I have we're going to talk about the preseason press conference briefly later on in the episode, and there's a clip about leadership that Carnell talks about. But yeah, played paired with Makanya
Mhm.
early on. We'll talk about that match coming up. But yeah, your thoughts on Jeff joining Philadelphia?
No, I think it'll be good to have a more veteran presence back there because, you lose Jacob Glesnes back there, you lose Kai Wagner back there.
Hmm.
So, having a veteran presence, I think will be good. He had some leadership roles in his previous
Yeah,
um
wore the
team.
armband a couple times. So
Yeah, yeah. So I think that'll be good. From hearing him speak in the availability today with the media, I thought that he gave some great answers, and I think it sounds like he's fitting in well with the squad so far. I mean, he's just gotten there, and of course, he had talked to Mikel Ua, and he's talked to a few
yep,
other players that he knows within MLS. He mentioned that he knows
exactly.
Anders Dreyer, he knows Evander,
So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, and something else Bradley talked about today. I forget who asked it, but it was about the defense. All these moving parts that particularly defense. But something Cardinal stressed was the flexibility, and I think
yeah,
for some of us, we've talked about that. Was Frankie, Nate?
yes.
They can play multiple positions across the line.
No, me and
Finn,
Finn can, yep.
Finn can. Brings
Ben
up
Bender.
Ben Bender.
He did
Ben
okay. He did
If
okay.
my internet had, and we'll talk about that later, if my internet during the press conference hadn't died today, I was going to ask about Bender.
Yeah, I sadly couldn't be on because I had
Yeah,
to work.
but no, it brings up a good point that, here are guys that fit that system, like you
Yeah,
said, with the defense. There's a lot of moving parts, and as Bradley said, I'll share something that John Shear said in the press conference last week.
yeah,
They're not just going to settle on bringing people in.
right,
They're being very intentional of their signings, and I
right. They're
think
not rushing into anything.
when you look at Jeff, he fits what the union want.
Yes, yeah. So no, it was. I mean, I thought he looked pretty good. In the preseason game, from what I was able to see.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm fine with this. Again, it's so early; it's hard to tell. We'll see how he develops throughout the year, how he fits
Hmm.
in. Obviously, he literally just got there, so it's been a couple days, so he's
Yeah.
still learning. So again, with you'll hear us say with these preseason matches, I don't take too much a grain of salt. I mean, I'm looking for
Yeah.
similarities, themes, but that's
Yeah.
about it. Do you want to take the next one?
Yeah. So we had a bunch of news yesterday. I was of course at work, so I'm trying to when I had a chance keep tabs on some of these things. But
As I put in one of the group chats, of course, all this news is breaking, and literally, I'm in back to back to back to back. I'm like in meetings all day.
oh, it
Yeah,
was
so
like I was so hoping news would break on Monday when I was home the whole day.
but
But anyway,
anyway,
but the point is, Stas Korzanowski, he got a first team contract. So he's been promoted from Union 2 to the first team. He was their leading goal scorer last year at Union 2. He had 12 goals on the season through all competitions. He had 4 in the playoffs and 8 in the regular season. And he really had a great run there at the end. 7 straight games to end the season where he had at least 1 goal, and he did have a brace in one of their playoff games. So that was the Cincinnati one, and then he just really got on a hot streak, and I mean, because he kind of dealt with some injuries,
Yeah,
at times in the season. And so once he was really fit and got in a rhythm, strikers can be streaky. And I talked about this with Stas too, after one of the matches. But he really showed what he can bring. He's tall, he's strong. He is a beast out there. And
for
he can
sure.
he can body people. Okay. He's kind of like stature wise, kind of like Bruno.
Was that the same press conference somebody asked that really weird question about finances and how it like affected his striking abilities? And he's like, I had to think about this.
Oh yeah, after a Union 2 game. Yeah.
Yeah, was that the same one? I forget. They all run together. But
I
no,
think it might
I'm
be
not ripping that question.
no, it's just
It's just
yeah.
this is a very funny question.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
Fun fact too, Stas was a good swimmer.
yes, he was. Good bridge
And
jumper.
as a swim coach, I definitely looked him up and I did ask Stas about his swimming, but eventually he just kind of focused on soccer and well, it looks like that paid off well for him because he was a very good swimmer, but obviously the soccer, it ended up going really well
I
for him.
mean,
But yeah, so he um he signed through 2026 with club options for 2027 and 2028. So, yeah.
and something Bradley mentioned in the press conferences, in the presser release was, Stas has earned this opportunity through his consistency, work ethic, and contributions in front of the goal, which makes sense. He continues to make steady progress. You need to hold play, physical presence, and finishing ability. You know, well, at depth. Not to knock on the guy, and maybe this is a hot take in some people's minds, but I feel this is an upgrade over Chris Donovan in some regards.
I agree.
Maybe not the speed. Chris is probably a
Chris
little,
had best pace on the team, I think.
yeah. So, but you're right, hold up play and all that.
Stas can finish,
I
like we
mean,
saw it.
does it solve the depth at forward? Totally no. I still feel like you need somebody else, maybe a speeds person that can separate, but. First and foremost, I'm happy for Stas because something that stood out to me was when we interviewed him that first time last year.
Yeah.
He talked about how different this system was
Yeah.
in Philadelphia and how hard it was for him. Not necessarily how hard, like I don't understand it. It was more just getting accustomed to it. Obviously, the like you said, the injury set him back a little bit. He talked about
Yeah.
that.
And he's coming from playing in college. He played for Penn, so he came up through that route.
So to finish that point,
Hmm.
I think for me, you saw him kind of start to settle in his zone. You see that goal on when was that? Tuesday? And it's kind of some of the goals we've seen from him the end of last year when he was on that streak. So I think maybe he's starting to figure it out.
Yeah.
And honestly, again, I'm very happy for him. I think this is a very good depth piece. But again, maybe we could get somebody else in there. Maybe not. I mean, let's see. I mean,
I mean, he's
Bradley,
22, so it's not like he's
yeah, I
a
mean,
16-year-old
Bradley
out
and his
there.
staff are seeing these guys every day. So,
Yeah. I think it's great that he's getting this opportunity. I know Ryan Victor had good things to say about him, during the season. We talked about him plenty. And yeah, I think it's great for him to get this opportunity. No offense to Chris Donovan, but I would rather have seen, Stas get some chances here. And so it
I,
adds that striker depth for
I
sure.
think at worst, you replace that role,
Yeah.
um, and you get that opportunity that's still, okay, maybe Sal, maybe Eddie. But again, where are they fitting into this,
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he's a little ways away. You still have Malik.
Yeah, and as everyone knows by now, Malik is in Spain with the first team at their training. So he did get into the preseason match late in the game, and when Malik's 16. He's still got work to do.
It's still, as
He
Bradley talked about
yeah,
today.
he's still got a lot of
I
development to
did
do.
find it very interesting at the end where he's like, he's very intriguing.
Yeah.
And maybe that's
Yeah.
just him, but just the
Bradley
way.
made it very clear he's still got a lot of development to
Oh,
do.
absolutely. I think
Yeah.
Ryan has. I think
Uh-huh.
you and I
Oh,
have.
we've all talked about that with Ryan
And there are
Victor and with
some
him. Yeah.
places on social media that are like all high on him and counting him. Like, let's pump the brakes a little bit.
Right. It's the same like with Cavan too. It's like, okay,
They're still developing,
they're still developing. He and Cavan are both, 16. Um, but and
but they're exciting to
they
watch.
are exciting to watch. And in that preseason game, I thought Cavan, not to get off too much on a tangent, but I thought Cavan actually, he looked like, you know,
We'll talk
he
about
was
that.
he was doing well. But these guys getting those chances is great. And back to Stas though, um, what a splash he makes in the first chance he gets with the preseason game.
Yeah,
So
we'll get to that.
yeah, so yeah,
Um, next bit of news.
Caden
Caden
Moore.
Moore is back. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you acquired defender Caden Moore on an interleague deal with Atlanta United through 2026 with a permanent trade option. He's going to play this year, obviously with Union 2 as an
Yeah.
all-roster homegrown. Additionally, Atlanta will retain some of his budget charge.
Mm-hmm.
Richter says his ability to read the game, combined with his physical presence and commitment, valuable addition to our defensive group as we look through.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
I
and
mean, here's the thing with Caden, and I kind of talked about this with Ben Bender.
yeah,
Ben Bender didn't have a preseason last
right.
year, and then he comes in and he's learning the system, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Caden Moore came in very late. If you
Okay,
remember,
so yeah, for people who don't know who we're talking about, first of
okay,
all, if you
yes,
don't follow Union 2, okay, and I know a lot of people
give
that,
some
okay,
backstory.
so, um, so Caden is a center back. He came in from Atlanta United 2 in August. He joined in August, and I was there training all the time. I saw the coaches working with him, like kind of one-on-one a bit. He, getting him, helping him adjust, and
Yes.
because there was a bit of a learning curve there, but definitely very highly thought of him. He did get called to national team camps. He's had those calls. He's doing well. So he was loaned for the rest of the season, and then he didn't get a lot of playing time, to be honest,
And,
because I
and,
mean you've got Neil and you've got Raphael there.
and I remember asking Ryan one day at training, specifically, hey, how, because you had said that
Yeah.
you the week before had seen Caden kind of working. And so the next week, I think I was down there and I just said to Ryan, how's Caden doing? And I remember Ryan saying he's still catching up a lot. He's got a lot of work to catch up on,
Yeah.
which is to be expected. The kid's coming in like almost towards the like final
Yeah,
quarter
yeah.
of the season. And I think he got a couple minutes in one.
Yeah, I think he got, I think, about 55 minutes total in the season, or
Yeah,
regular season. I think he made two regular season
and
appearances.
they were very brief.
So he was subbed on those, and then he started the Eastern Conference Final in that loss against Red Bulls too.
And so I want to get to that
Yeah.
because I remember that he played left back that match. Remember he played left back because I made that weird joke because it was who was it? It was Gio, and then it was Neil, Raphael, and then it was
He
Caden.
played left back.
Or
No,
maybe
no, no. CJ was
CJ got subbed
CJ
on.
eventually was. Yeah.
Yeah, because remember,
So
oh,
you
so
guys listening, the lineup was definitely different because Nick Pariano was injured, and then some of the guys were with the U17 World Cup.
yeah,
Like
he
you don't have
played left back.
Jordan, you don't have Kellen, you don't have Cavan, you don't have Jameer, like all those guys were gone.
Because remember, I made that weird comment right at the beginning of the match because Kellen almost
Yeah.
drifted in. It almost looked like they were playing a three center back position,
Yeah.
but it was because Kellen was drifting in so
Being
far.
Caden.
Caden was drifting in
Yeah.
so far that's why it looked like
Yeah. So it was different. And
it was.
and so that was his first start, and he was kind of thrown in there. And he was physical, he was aggressive, he was doing his best. He probably should have
Did
been
not,
sent off, and Ryan said as much.
yeah, it's,
He got lucky that he wasn't sent off.
I wonder how much that performance because that first half I remember saying to you once or twice. Now again, it's just a very small sample size we saw
Yeah.
of him. There were some flashes of what you see that really
Yeah.
says, and I wonder because then at the end of the season we're like, okay, are they gonna?
It sounded like he was just well, he was going back, and I even saw an Atlanta United site that okay, he was his contract was, he was getting homegrown contract with
Yeah,
Atlanta. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, he's probably not going to be back. So, but
yeah,
he's back.
no,
So, and just to explain how this works, so he was homegrown with Atlanta, but he is now on loan to the first team, technically, to the Union, um, on as an off-roster homegrown. And so it's kind of the situation like Eddie and Sal and a bunch of those guys, Frankie actually, even at the beginning, the off-roster homegrowns where they have like those limited amount of call-ups to the first team,
and
but
then
pretty much are going to be with Union 2. So, and it was even said in the press release, yeah, I mean, his development's going to continue with Union 2. So the loan is from Atlanta United to the Union. However, he's an off-roster homegrown and will be with basically Union 2.
yeah,
So, and of course, that the fact that he's a center back, and of course he has a little bit of versatility there. That's interesting, of course, now that the Neil Pierre news is out because, you know,
do you want to talk
yep.
about that?
Yeah, may as well segue into that.
I did not put that on there.
Yeah,
But
so a bit of news today actually was that, there was rumors about Neil Pierre getting loaned out, and so that finally came out today. So Neil Pierre has been loaned through June of 2026, which is interesting, to Lyngby, which of course the Union has a partnership with. So this is in the Danish league, and so he's going to be loaned there through June 2026, which basically means then there's that World Cup break and he's going to be back. But
Bradley did say they're still trying to figure out like how he progresses. Does he do
yeah, it's good
another?
at
Do they
least
do another loan?
right. But because that partnership, because Bradley said they like being able to control, okay, what's happening. Because I think there was no mention of like option to purchase or anything like
No,
that.
no. I
So
think it's just a straight. We're gonna
yeah.
get you some playing time.
Right. And Bradley said basically he's at the point he needs something more, go get some experience against, some European competition.
And didn't
And
Jose Nunez ask about USL or somebody
like,
did?
oh, if there was thought of him going to USL.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, this hey, he gets to go play against Europe and
That's my whole thing
like, okay.
is, we try it with CJ only. Like, why not?
TJ went to USL, yeah.
Why don't we send it? I guess maybe because of like you said, that control
Yeah.
that they have a little bit more control over
Right.
that whole situation.
And I think
But
that's just it because I think they do rate Neil very highly. They really want his development to happen, but they want to have a little bit more,
I
control.
mean, I wish Neil the best.
Yeah,
We'll see how that goes. And
yeah. So,
I
I
mean,
mean,
second division Denmark. I don't know if that's in the same level as the USL
see,
Championship, but
yeah,
hey, anyway, I
yeah,
get it. From what Bradley said, I get why they did that.
yeah. So,
That's
yeah.
pretty much all the moves.
Oh, and just FYI, who's
Oh yeah,
Jameer Johnson, who his homegrown rights were basically um they were along in the Jacob Blessens deal to LA Galaxy. So um now a lot of people thought, oh, Jameer's going to be playing with LA Galaxy. Not necessarily the case. They just get his homegrown rights. This has to do with, of course, if he moves on elsewhere, whatever. So so Jameer actually signed with Orange County,
I love that move. Now,
which is in USL. Yep. And then of course the plan is, they send a lot of players to Europe, and I believe didn't Milan Iloski play
yeah,
there?
sir, I was
Yeah.
about to go. Milan was won the Golden Boot
Yep.
with Orange County in
Yep.
USL,
Yep.
and I remember, I think, even Milan was one of the persons he talked really highly of his time in Orange County.
Yeah.
I love this move
Yeah, I think it's a great
for.
move for Jameer. We
Um,
know he wants to go to Europe. I mean,
I
that's
don't
been
know
clear.
how much time, but we've seen with Orange County and some of these USL Championship teams, if you're good enough, you're going to play.
Yeah.
So it's a big opportunity, of course, to set himself up to get that move to Europe.
Yeah.
So we wish Jameer the best of luck. But yeah, I like this for him and hope he thrives in USL Championship.
Yeah, and
Did you want to talk about the
Call-ups.
U17
Yeah.
call-ups?
Yeah. So, speaking of that, so of course, it wasn't too long ago we had the U17 World Cup in Qatar and had the four Union players in there, which
Mhm.
was awesome. Cavan, Kellen, Jameer, and Jordan. Well, of course, now they are gearing up for the 2026 U17 World Cup, and that's also in Qatar next November. And so they have the qualifiers, the CONCACAF qualifiers, 8 teams will qualify from that. And Kellen and Jordan and Jameer were part of that last year.
Yeah,
Lives in Costa Rica. And this year, the CONCACAF qualifiers are in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that's in February. And today it was announced that Malik Jakupovic has been called up, as well as Matthew White. And I think everyone listening to this pretty much at this point knows who Malik is, of course. But Matthew White, for those unfamiliar, he is a goalkeeper with the Union Academy,
yeah.
and he's had national team call-ups before.
Mhm.
Very highly rated. He is from California originally, and so he's a newer addition. He has a younger brother in the academy as well.
Correct.
And but they came over from California. I want to say like the San Jose area. I forget exactly, but anyway, but those two are on the they've been called to the 21 player roster um for the U17s. And then William Ferreira, who is a midfielder with Union 2, he has had some national team call-ups before. Well, he's called as an alternate. So they're gonna have like a pre-camp kind of in
So
Florida.
sort of like the Eddie Davis
Yeah, like
situation.
what Eddie did and how
Yeah.
Eddie was an alternate for the U20s. So um, William is going to get to go to the camp in Florida before that, and then he's an alternate. So if there'd be an injury or whatever, he, could possibly go then to the actual competition. But so that's great for them. And you know, really it's a strong group there. So congrats to them.
I'm
Yeah.
happy. Obviously, Malik makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Malik makes sense.
Malik, like his last,
Malik makes sense.
yeah, he's done really well on the
So
international
we
stage.
saw, who was it? We saw White play,
Yeah, well, we
goal.
went to an academy
Yeah,
game. We
we
saw
went to,
him playing with the
and there was a
U18s.
play
Yeah.
where they're playing FC Delco,
Yeah.
and there was like a play where the ball breaks loose. Delco gets a one-on-one.
Yeah.
And the thing I noticed, I'm like, okay, let's see what this kid gets. He jumps, he like gets forward and just springs right on that attacker,
Hmm.
makes this great knockout save, like
Yeah.
knocks the ball out with his hand. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he like, and then there was another play where they had, I think it was a set piece, they crossed it in, ball bounces right in front of him, and attacker dives, and White kind of just, I just remember he stretches off and just almost like not
Hmm.
Andre-esque, but Andre, I guess, kind of, maybe when Andre was his age, he just kind of sprawled out and just tipped the
No.
ball over the net. I mean, he made some good saves. There was that one play he almost let a goal in, but again, the kid's what, 17, so
I'll tell you what, the goalkeeping in the Union,
it's it's it's
they're
it's
they're
good.
it is good.
Um, I think Phil, uh, Ross and the academy staff are very good at developing talent. Let's put it
They
that
are.
way.
I think so too. I
With
mean,
what they have.
for
So
sure, for sure. When we've seen how they've come up and for those that are there's definitely goalkeepers coming up and so
I'm excited to see
yeah.
I'm excited to see William get another opportunity with the national teams, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for
So
sure. And
um
yeah.
so we'll come back to the preseason. We'll end on that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the Union preseason schedule. I mean, obviously we were going to record this on Monday, and
Yeah.
now they've already played a game. But what are your thoughts about them playing Olamotes, Sigma Olamotes on Tuesday, drawing 1-1?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the match?
What the Sigma, as the kids used to say.
Sigma Olamotes?
What the Sigma? No, I
Olamotes?
used to bef thankfully the kids are over that brain rot. They used to be like, "What the Sigma?" And Sigma was like such a one of their slang words. Anyway, um, but yeah, anyway, so now it's like, oh, your fit is chopped, and stuff like that. Gotta get with the lingo. Anyway, but no,
I'm judging you really hard right now.
I'm sorry, I teach middle school. Yeah, thankfully the 6-7 thing has died down for the most part. Anyway, so, but no, I thought that, this, and I did get to watch most of it, but I thought that Union came out looking pretty good for it being preseason. I was surprised a little bit to see who was starting. I like seeing these combinations. Though. It was good seeing Stas out there starting.
With Ezekiel Alado.
Yeah, we got to see some of these new players, which was exciting. Seeing
I thought
Zico
Alado
Aldo.
was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I
There
thought
was
they
one
looked
play
good.
where he dropped off a very nice ball. I think it was to Milan.
Mm.
And some of these camera angles, I'm like, who's that? Like, oh,
Oh,
that's
and Milan's got he cut his hair like
yeah,
his
that's why I'm
haircut's
like,
different.
who's that? Oh, that's Milan.
Some of them got the fresh haircuts. Bizo too, like Bizo's hair's cut. And I
Oh,
saw Neil cut his hair too. Anyway, but a lot of them there. But yeah, and then you had Rick in net, to start. He looked good.
Ben Bender.
Ben Bender was playing left back,
So you could tell he
which
was,
Bradley had said in the preseason press conference
yes.
that, he could maybe, but
I
it was
mean,
interesting.
was it like, oh my gosh? But yeah, there would be times he was way caught out of position, and you could tell he was uncomfortable playing that. So there were also a couple times where I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, it was okay. Let's see how this goes, kind of thing. Maybe this is just an experiment,
Yeah.
or maybe this is kind of his way into getting first team, or at least
Yeah.
contributing. So we'll
Yeah.
see. I'm
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
And you had Ale out there where, being the captain and um so you had that and trialist
Number
number 38.
38.
Okay, let's not beat around the bush here. We know who that is.
We do know who that is.
Um but okay, like I'm guessing nothing.
Olamut's put that name out there on their lineup. Like they had like
It was on the
Olmutz,
sheet, yeah.
Olmutz had it, and it was like, really? And then
Anyone who follows Union 2 or has eyeballs knows exactly who it
for
is.
this episode purpose until news is announced, he is trialist
Oh,
number 38.
yeah. Um
We're toeing the line there now.
yeah. Let's just
Everybody's like, come on, you guys know who this is. Yes, that is who it is. We'll put like little subtext underneath.
I mean, really, is we all it's
We
been
all
said.
know. I mean, it has been said. It was Giovanni
Giovanni
Sequeira.
Sakara.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
come on.
mean,
Everyone
we're just
knows
having
this.
fun.
Um
But again, we'll see
uh,
what the news is when it
yeah.
comes out.
There was
Obviously,
one tweet a while back about, of him saying, now for context here, Gio, of course, he played right back with Union 2. He
right.
converted to that last year. He was, midfielder before that, but did a good job. And I know he was playing with first team, like kind of getting some time up there towards the end of the season, just getting some looks. But um, it was great to see Gio out there though. That was great. I think that he has really come on well. And so it'll be interesting to see what he does. But yeah, basically I'm guessing that obviously
They have to get all.
they have to get things sorted out and
It was just funny.
he had been loaned from Metropolitanos down in
Yeah,
Venezuela. So,
I think that's kind of the holdup right now.
and there's been like visa issues and all that different stuff going on.
So we'll see.
Yeah, like Jose Martinez couldn't, be with his team,
Yeah,
you know, with Corinthians because the whole Venezuela and just things
yeah.
going on. So, anyway, but yeah, so it was good to see Stas score. It was like the ninth minute or so.
Which so
Got the ball from Ale and sent it home.
it was interesting. The ball gets sent forward in.
Yeah.
Um, it gets defended, but then deflection. And in typical Union style, Ali jumps on it, and I timed it. You know how Bradley always likes to say after turnover 10 seconds to shot or
Mm.
a goal? 4.8 I literally had my coaches stop watching so much of a nerd I am.
I love that.
From the time the ball leaves Ali's foot to that turnover happens, it was 4.27 seconds or something like that. Now, again, I'm watching a video clip and I'm sure Union have much more accurate information,
Yeah.
but it was like 4 or 5 seconds. It was like, all right.
Yeah.
But again, we saw that with Stas with Union too. There would be a turnover and
Yeah.
somebody give him the ball right in the box off a turnover. It's the Union way. So you love to see that first goal of the year
Yeah.
being scored on that kind of goal creation because that should
Yeah. So when you date back to last season, that's 8 matches now in a row he's scored in. I mean,
correct.
you know,
Yeah.
um,
And
yeah,
so in the second half,
they subbed off basically
there was a
everyone.
lot of U2 kids. I think Jovan and
Jovan and wait, did Indy start or did he come in? I think
Indy
he
was in the
start.
second
Yeah.
half.
Well, you had
Frankie,
Frankie,
Nate, we had
Nate Wu,
Finn.
the captain's armband, by the way, and George Marks was in goal. But yeah, you had Sal, in
It,
there, right? Yeah,
the second
Eddie was in
half, I
there.
mean, again, we don't
Right.
know what Sigma had in there. They could have they probably
Yeah.
rotated too. I mean, second half they hit the crossbar twice. They hit the post twice, and then
Who do we have? Bruno in there. Wasn't it Bruno and Eddie up top?
yeah, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Eddie got subbed off for Malik.
Malik came in. Yeah.
So
Most of the players got in then
yeah,
in the end, but you know,
Sigma
Andre didn't
got
play obviously.
Sigma got a very Union-esque goal. So
Sigma could have definitely scored other
like
times.
three, should have
They
been 3-1.
deflected their own shot the one time. I
That
did see
that was the
that.
best. Like we're all sitting there, like a whole bunch of us in that one chat were like, "What was that?" Like a one player blocked the other player's shot. And then
Hmm.
that whole sequence was wild. But
Yeah.
I mean, again, this is a club that is playing in UEFA Conference Championships.
Yeah.
So 1-1 draw against a club like that.
Hmm.
They were rotating. Were they really sharp? Who knows? Hey, I mean, you take that against good European competition. Now, now Union play tomorrow
Yeah, or
at
no, should it be
8 a.m.
today?
at 8
Friday.
a.m.
Yeah.
against FC Nordsjælland. Um,
Which is where Milan Olaski used to play.
yes, and by the way, Nordsjælland has an app you can download that they're going to live stream. Now, here's the kicker:
Yeah, pay.
you got to pay.
For
Just
like, yeah, a month access, kind of like what we had to do last year.
so I think we're probably going to do that
Yeah.
and just watch tomorrow. But if you're interested, they have an app. You can download it. I think I know Jose
Jose tweeted it out.
tweeted it out, so
So,
you can go follow Jose Nunez.
yeah.
And it's in there. But yeah, if you want to watch it, I think it's like what? I think it converts
It's like $6 or
six,
something like
seven
that.
bucks.
6 or 7. Don't even.
I did not try that on purpose because you know how much those kids the one
Oh my
when yeah,
gosh.
and Joel came over and okay. Anyway,
Yeah, I gotta tell you
so
something about that then. Yeah.
yeah, I'm look again another team that's
Yes.
very highly talented in Europe. Played in Europa UEFA
Mhm.
competitions. This will be a good challenge. Excited to see.
I'm excited to see, yeah, what the combinations are with that. And, will Andre be in goal? We'll see.
We'll see.
Maybe Jojo Elliott.
I mean,
By the way, okay, for any eagle-eyed observers, okay, it's not like you might not
well,
notice it. Okay, so like some people may recall Mike Sheridan went last year as like their fourth
yes,
goalkeeper.
and
Okay.
he's in photos.
Yeah, yeah. So, Jojo Elliott went along for if anyone doesn't know who he is. I mean, he had like a couple times on the bench with Union
You
2,
too.
but he just had a tremendous season with University of Delaware. So he came up through the Union Academy. He went through there. And so he was just, he's in his freshman year at University of Delaware. Phenomenal season. He's on break right now. And so he just went along. He hasn't like signed with, he's not like signed with them or anything,
No,
but he went along as their fourth goalkeeper because, you know, they need another goalkeeper.
yeah. So anyway,
Pierce is probably, I assume Pierce is still like healing. So, you
probably.
know,
I I'm curious from an NCAA standpoint.
Yeah, I'm just like I
Like,
don't know how all that
I don't
works.
know how all that works. Like, I
If
was,
anyone does enlighten us, but
yes, if anybody does, yes, please. I'm just curious how that works. I mean,
yeah.
is it just
I was just surprised because I'm
so?
watching. I'm like, hey, that's JoJo.
So there
He's in
is.
there.
I remember when I coached, there was this thing where you could do like you could play professional if you got actual necessary expenses, but you didn't get paid. So
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I'm sure. I
I'm
mean, I'm sure there's like
sure. There's,
ways it's handled
yeah.
doing your.
I'm
I'm
just,
just like I was just like, oh, how's that work? Um,
but
so
yeah. So then after that, Union have a little bit of a break, and then they'll play Montenegro's side, uh, FK Bujamos. Hopefully I got that right on.
Budapest.
Yeah, Bujamos. On
Look with that Kyle. Yeah.
on January 29th. Then they return for a mandatory 3-day break in
Hmm.
Chester, Philadelphia area. And then they'll go play USL Championship side Tampa Bay Rowdies
Hmm.
before finishing off on February 10th before they head out to CONCACAF Cup
Yeah,
in,
they'll play Montreal. So they're not
yep,
playing Cincinnati in preseason like they seem to always do.
game. But
Yeah.
um, hey, so that we got some more preseason soccer ahead.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, and also worth noting is I'm sure people noticed Quinn Sullivan is, they're training, he's on the trip with them, which
yeah.
is great. You know,
Um,
and
and I do want to share a little
yeah,
bit about that
let's
with the
probably talk a
preseason.
little bit about Quinn and you asked about him. So
Yeah, but honestly, I mean, look, this is good preseason. I do like how maybe they bring in CF Montreal. Okay.
oh,
Uh,
they can be against Brandon Craig.
yeah, there we go. Another former Union connection. I think there might still be one with Tampa Bay Rowdies. But yeah, I mean, it's your typical one. Get gear up. We still have 20 days of preseason. But let's move on to the press conference. Last week there were a couple notes and
Hmm.
things. I mean, John Shear made it very clear early on that all these, the moves of Kai, Jacob, and Ty were intentional.
Yep.
They're not done. One of the things,
They're not done making moves.
yeah, they're not done
Yeah.
making moves. Uh, Having said that,
Hmm.
I remember years past, people would always ask in media, what is your target number? And Jim would always say, or Ernst would always say, here's
For
our.
roster size, yeah.
Yeah. I was curious about this just because, again, we're going back
Mhm.
to, is it going to be increased? Um, and here's what John Shear had to say. We're going to share this um, in terms of what the roster size is going to be.
Say we want to look at our whole squad in terms of the first team and the second team in a way where we feel like we have enough pieces to help us in what will be a busy first half of a season leading into a World Cup where there's a break and a lot of uncharted territory. We're going to make it about the fit, what makes sense for our roster, the player, the resources we have available. So, but as we mentioned, we're not done. We're going to be adding, and there will be news here shortly where you'll start to see some of those pieces coming. I'd say we
Uh,
want to.
well, thank you, John, because yeah,
Yeah.
we did see that news coming.
Yeah.
Um, no,
And we still have lots of news, I'm sure, to come for like
I'm
Union
sure,
too.
I'm
There's
sure.
not been a whole lot yet about that. So, about what
Um,
their roster is.
Shout out to Todd saying we're I was I think were we chatting with Todd where it was like we got the Union 2 schedule before we got
We
the
had, yeah, the Union 2 schedule came out
that
yesterday.
was
So,
great. So
yeah.
we're gonna talk about that in another episode. But yeah, like and Bradley said today, we're not gonna just go get a left back because we need a left back.
Yeah,
We
they
need
want to.
to make sure it's a fit.
Right.
And again, that's refreshing to see. It
Right.
very is refreshing to see and really happy with that. I mean, again, it's the Union way. We
Yeah.
don't expect that. But so that was the first thing. Second thing I wanted to touch on was because I know you have Grays.
Well, I'm missing it now. So,
No, you're not.
yeah, I am. It's 10 o'clock
Okay,
and
well,
I'm just gonna watch it tomorrow.
All right.
I stayed here a little bit
Okay.
longer in the off
So
season.
anyway, we gotta set this one up. So I did ask about Quinn, how his
How's
recovery's
recovery
going,
going? Yeah.
and you know, Bradley gave kind of an update.
Saw Quinn in the facility every single day. He continued his rehab in a real professional manner. He's come back. I've seen him doing some lifting in and around the facility. His quad's getting bigger and bigger every single day. But yeah, it's progressing, very, very good at a normal rate for that type of injury. And it would be impossible now to say any sort of date when we could expect to return. But yeah, we're excited about what we've seen so far, as he's developed, or rehabilitated, for this phase where he should be way ahead of.
So
And by the way, if anyone's interested, if you're like on TikTok, Quinn has been posting on his TikTok his recovery journey. So you can see like how that's going for him.
absolutely no. And again, I just want I like Bradley saying the quads are getting bigger.
Yeah, Quadzilla. Yeah.
But I mean, that was a nice little side
Yeah.
right there. But
Yeah.
honestly, yeah, no, I was just curious. Was it a very detailed conference in terms of like, oh, there's a lot of information, things? No. But like things like that, and
I asked about Finn Sundstrom and his, his flexibility in position, how he can play multiple
and
positions
Bradley
and
said,
how he
hey, yeah, he can. He could even be a holding, defensive midfielder. Who
Mhm.
knows? Um, there was a lot of little nuggets here and there, but overall, I mean, nothing that you, me, and our friends wouldn't be shocked about. Would you say it's
Yeah.
fair?
There's a lot of talk about Cavan,
Yes.
as to be expected.
Malik, Eddie,
Um, yeah, he was talking about, the chances the strikers were getting there, developing them. Yeah.
I mean,
And so,
and he talked a little bit about leadership, talked about
mhm,
Jeff, talked about how there's times for people to step up. So,
right.
I mean, again, go ahead, check out the press conferences, but yeah, so that's gonna be all for today. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it. We will probably be back this week. I hope everybody's gonna stay safe from this.
Snowpocalypse. I love snow as a January baby. I love snow. The day I was born, it was
I
snowing. It
know,
snows every year on my birthday pretty much. Love it.
I know a couple people from my time um, coaching here locally. They're in the meteorology department. Very well respected in the meteorology community. They're calling for 10 to 16 inches here in Lancaster counties. But for
Depends
the
how it tracks, but
and sleet, freezing rain. But
I love some snow.
again, if you're listening to this over the weekend, hope you guys are safe,
Wonder if,
and
I mean,
enjoy the snow,
yeah,
stay
do.
safe, all that. But we'll probably be back on recording Sunday, kind of talk a little bit about the Union 2 schedule that got released today.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the match at the time of listening on Friday. And,
I have a little write-up about the schedule that I put out on
and
our
any,
website.
and any other news that breaks.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be news, and of course we'll have this preseason match to discuss. So yeah.
So, lot of stuff coming. But until next time, this is all new episode of the One Team We Agree On.
Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and spread the word and comment. We love hearing from you and chat with us on socials and yeah, help spread the word. And we haven't forgotten about we said, if we hit 100 subscribers and we are past that, we will be doing a giveaway at some point here. So
We will.
thank you to people who have subscribed.
Yeah, and thank you again. Leave a comment. We love hearing from you. And until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
We'll see you at the game.